Giving all people access to quality health care isn't just a current debate. It was also a challenge in the early part of the 20th century, particularly for those in the Jewish population. A new exhibit at the Maltz Museum of Jewish Heritage chronicles the work Jews undertook to provide medical care for themselves and others. David Schaefer is here to preview Beyond Chicken Soup, Jews and Medicine in America. David is the managing director of the Maltz Museum. Welcome to our show.
It's a pleasure to be here with you.
Well, now we find lots and lots of Jewish physicians, but that wasn't always the case.
That's correct. In the early 20th century, there was rising anti-Semitism, and as a result, the Jewish community was shunned from hospitals and generally denied access to medical care.
So this exhibit is showing how the Jewish population kind of had to do it for themselves, right? So what did they do?
Well, they went ahead and built Jewish hospitals. First, they did so to train Jewish physicians, and later a place to work.
Okay, and to serve
the discrimination was, there was quotas on Jewish doctors working at other hospitals in the area.
Okay, so they were going to help to serve the Jewish population. And so they built hospitals, they started teaching, and that includes places like right here in the Cleveland area, right?
Absolutely. Our beloved Mount Sinai Hospital was created to improve health care for the general community.
And especially for the Jewish population.
Correct.
And at that time, developing the medical field and research and treatment provided the Jewish population, a way to take their rightful place in the society, right?
Absolutely, Lori. Medicine was a platform for the Jewish immigrants at the turn of the 20th century as a way to assimilate, to give back, and to fight for civil rights.
Okay. And do you have a story that you can share about this whole time in history?
Well, I don't think any story in Cleveland, Ohio should be anything other than our beloved Mount Sinai. In 1892, the Young Ladies Hebrew Association began raising funds for the sick and needy. That was the first Mount Sinai, East 37th Street, a converted house, a 29-bed place of patient care.
Oh boy.
Later moved to East 105th Street, where it thrived for decades. In 1906, 1 out of every 10 physicians in Cleveland were Jewish. Because of the rising anti-Semitism, there was no place for them to train or to be employed. So Mount Sinai served an important function at the turn of the 20th century.
All right. Great history. I'm glad you're bringing it to light here at the museum.
Yep, the story is fascinating. It's something to celebrate, and also it has relevancy for today's discussions in healthcare.
All right. Beyond Chicken Soup, Jews and Medicine in America just opened at the Maltz Museum of Jewish Heritage and will be on exhibit until April of next year. We prescribe a visit to get educated on the historic fight for equality in healthcare, which also does look to the future of medicine in America. My thanks to David for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Find out more by calling the Maltz Museum of Jewish Heritage at 216-593-0575 or click to www.maltzmuseum.org.